What's up, guys? It's Kyle again with DTOM Knives and Gear, and today I'm going to be going over with you how I sharpen my knives, more particularly the system that I use. It's not going to be a demo or anything, but something that I have kind of evolved over time, a little bit better system called the KME Precision Knife Sharpening System. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back, everybody. Okay, today, I've had a lot of people, not a lot of people, I've had some people ask me how I sharpen my knives. I am not an expert at sharpening knives. I don't even consider myself good at sharpening knives, but I am able to keep an edge on my knives. I have so many that I carry quite a few, and not for a particular long period of time, maybe a week or so to test. So it's one of those things where I sharpen knives, but I've sharpened more knives for friends than I have really myself. So that being said, I am not an expert. I'm just showing you what I do, or what system I use to keep an edge on. And I used to own the Lansky system. A lot of you might already know what the Lansky system is. They have Arkansas stones and diamond stones, ceramic stones, and I had the diamond stones with the fine and the extra fine, and then a leather strop that went for it. And I was able to get really good edges on it. The only problem is with the Lansky for me was I always had to reprofile a knife to be able to get it where it was sharp, because on the Lansky system you had a certain degree angle slots that you put your rod through, and it was either that or that. So I really wanted something that was a little bit more robust, because the Lansky system is great, especially for the price, but I wanted something a little bit more robust and something that I could get more accurate angles with. And there are a lot of systems out there. There's a Viper Sharp. You can even get the Ken Onion Design Work Sharp, which is a belt drive system, handheld belt drive system, puts a concave edge. I didn't want that. Then you have things like the Wicked Edge system, which costs a ridiculous amount of money, and I didn't really want to do that either, so I settled on the KME sharpening system, and I'm really glad that it did. My experience with this system has been really good. There is a learning curve that is involved, but you just practice on some cheaper steels to kind of get your technique down. The guys over at KME are absolutely awesome, because I did email them after purchasing the system. They showed me videos, they talked to me on the phone, they just really were awesome. So the people behind KME Sharpener are just really good folks. Made in America too, by the way. So let's get into the kit. I am beating my camera around. All right, now I have a few extras, but you get a base, but there are some packages where you don't get the base because it is a handheld system. It's just I prefer the base. I'm pretty sure that when I bought mine for like $225, it came with the base, and then you have your clamp for your stones and a rod that you tie onto here. We'll go ahead and get that done. This is a stop that you can set to make sure you don't over travel yourself to come upon your blade. This is the actual clamp and guided system itself. What you do, I don't know what I'm doing. So you can see over here, you screw this down. I'm going to get this whole case out of the way in a minute. And then this sits on top. Let's do that. Ugh. So that's how the system sits. And what I was talking about before with the Lansky system had different grooves which were inset into this particular thing, where you had like a 17, 20, 25, 35 degree. And as you can see here, this rod goes through that little bushing there, and then this whole thing goes up and down, and you can adjust your angle. Now, it does have little markings to where, but these are all just reference points. It depends on your knife width, where it's sitting into the fixture. So what I ended up doing, a lot of people use little angle blocks that are magnetized. Some people put a little piece of metal right back here to set that angle block on. So when it's in here, you know the exact angle. I don't even go that far. On my cell phone, I have an angle app, and so when I have this thing in here on the blade, I just set my phone right here, and it pretty accurately gives me the angle. So if you're getting that if you want the exact angle that you're looking for, this is the best, well, better than the Lansky system for that. Also, as far as a Lansky system, and this being a huge upgrade, is depending on, factory edges come in all different angles and configurations. And if you're not wanting to reprofile and you're just wanting to sharpen it up, you really need to be able to move your rod up and down, your stone up and down to get on that angle, so you don't have to take off as much material if you're not trying to do a reprofile. And that was something that I really, really wanted. So this allowed me to do that, and at an affordable price. I will say, like on the basic kit, you get really the stones that you really need if you're just going to sharpen. So you get a 140 grit, a 300 grit, a 600 grit, and then a 1500 grit. With those stones right there, you will be able to sharpen most any knife. The only time that you really need the 100 or the Beast is if you're reprofiling the blade. And then, of course, a lot of steels are harder than others and blah, blah, blah. So, but I do have the Beast and the 100 grit because I was reprofiling some other friends of mine's blades. But I even bought this. Let me just kind of go in and show you. I even bought this. This is the lapping film kit that this costs $135 on it all on its own. And the 0.1 micron CBN emulsion to go on the kangaroo strop, which I also have. I do recommend the strop because the strop is very handy for getting that little micro burr off. But these lapping films are excellent, but very unnecessary if you're just trying to sharpen your knives. If you're trying to get a mirror polish on your knives, these are awesome. Now, there's still a lot of technique involved to really, really get that mirror polished edge like you're wanting. The the lapping films, this is the conversion into grits. There it goes from 9 micron, which is a 1800 grit, 6 micron 3000, 3 micron 6000, 1 micron 16,000, 0.5 60,000, and 0.1 micron of 160 grit. So obviously stepping down, you're going to get a pretty good polish. But I'm telling you guys, you just really don't need it if you're just sharpening your stuff. I kind of wish I hadn't even bought this because it is expensive. Because I really don't use it now that often. I was really excited about it at first. And it is a good product. If you get into sharpening knives and you want that mirror polished blade, this is absolutely the way to go. But it's not necessary. I can show you, kind of get this out of the way, some of the blades that I've done. This is the really cool Giant Mouse Ace Sonoma with the custom anno job that my buddy Scott over at Big Board Knife and Gear did. And my lighting's not great, guys, but you can see if I can get a... You can kind of see there the mirror polish that I have on this edge. It's hard to get. It's really hard to get with my angles here. But anyway, you can kind of see there the mirror polish that I have, but you can still see behind that polish is some scratches. And this was one of the first knives that I did. And I've done a couple others for some folks that I really was more proud of than that. This Shaman, I actually, you guys, if you follow my channel, you know that that I chipped this blade in a few places right up here by doing something that I shouldn't have been doing with the Shaman. I was able to get the chips out. See if we can. I don't have no chips, and it's a relatively polished edge. Come on, camera. But I didn't do anything as far as the lapping films on this guy. All I did was go down to the 1500 grit. So with the 1500 grit, you can still get a polished edge on it. But I'll be honest with you, I think I even went too far. I think I would have rather stopped at the 600 grit and then stropping it. Which is still something that I'm trying to figure out, guys. I am no expert at all. Just kind of sharing with you my experience. This is the Manix 2. This is the one that I stopped at the 600 grit. Oh, man. Come on. And this is what you can see here. maybe is an edge that was stopped that is not polished, but definitely an even bevel, both sides, that just worked out great. It's a wicked sharp edge on this guy. And so like I said, you don't need a mirror edge to get something wickedly sharp. This was one of the first ones that I did, which is the Man X2 Lightweight. And you can see, this is one that I reprofiled. I mean, I got down to a 15-degree edge, and so you can see the big bevel that I put on this guy, because this is a knife that it was my first Spyderco knife. Never going to sell it, and was kind of a I guess a practice knife. But you can see it does have a polished edge, a pretty good polished edge there. But the bevel is a lot further back because I cut that angle down. I can't even remember what the deck angle was from stock, but I cut it down to like 15 degrees. So kind of crazy. But it made it a pretty good slicer, but it wasn't necessary to do that. So anyways, guys, if you have any questions, you can ask me, as far as how to do this, but I am not the guy to ask. I just wanted to let you guys know this is what I use. And for somebody who, used the Lansky system for a while and then went to this, I was able to put really good edges on my knives with this system with, just a little bit of a learning curve. And there's, like I said, there's so many videos out there for great guys who can teach you how to do it. But anyways, if you have any questions, holler back at me and I will do my best to answer them. And if I can't answer it, then I will find that email from KME, the gentleman that I talked to, because I cannot remember his name, saved my life. But he was more than willing to help me. He told me to call him. I talked to him on the phone. I'm a horrible person for not remembering his name. But anyways, I will be more than happy to try to make that happen for you. But guys, I really appreciate you stopping by and just kind of checking out my sharpening system. You know what? I didn't even show you how, before we go, how these clamp on. I mean, it's really simple. All these are the same thickness, and so it just clamps in there like that. Make sure you're halfway centered. Snug it down, and boom, you're ready to go. A lot of people I've got a little bottle of dish soap and water to clean these diamond stoves off, and I use a little bit of the oil when I use the lapping films, and that's really it. But like I said, any of that stuff you can find online. A lot of videos, guys showing you how to do it. So guys, I really appreciate you stopping by. Thank you so much for all my subscribers. I really love you guys. You guys have been really, really awesome. All my supporters, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you. Stay safe out there, guys, in this crazy world that we're living in, and we will see you in the next one.